All right, welcome to the 10th of our 12 sessions on Write the Vision. This is session 10 of 12 on the subject concerning writing your vision. We have covered an awful lot of ground, and for those of you that have gotten into the series kind of in the middle as a result of a promotion that we did to get more interest in the series, we gave away 5 free sessions and we started at session 6. This will be the last of those 5 free promotional sessions. So I hope you have gotten some of the materials. If you don't have my book, Write the Vision, you certainly need that. Lots of anecdotes, ideas, stories that will really help you get started and also complete the writing of your own visions, dreams, ideas, so that you can realize some of those things. If you've been following along in the training sessions, some of you I hope already have this workbook. There's a lot of information, a lot of activities in the workbook that are not in the book, stories in the book that are not in the workbook. So you really need both, and we tried to make it convenient and affordable to do that, so there's not any great stress on anyone financially, especially. But if you've just had these 5 sessions, I really encourage you to go on and get the full training session, the 12 training sessions, because I'm telling you, there's just so much information that will help you better understand what your gifting is. Actually, when you order the full session, there's a bonus teaching in here called Find, Follow, and Finish Your Course for those of you that are still kind of struggling to know exactly what it is that you are called to do. There's information in here about dreams. There's information in here about how ideas and dreams are found. You know, a lot of people wonder, well, man, where did he get such a great idea? You know, Velcro, what a powerful thing, which was kind of inspired by we call them kookaburras, these hitchhikers that you find when you're walking through the woods, the little things that grab hold to your pants, and somebody kind of noticed that lock and grab situation on those things and came up with Velcro. You say, man, many times I've been walking through the woods and had to pull that stuff out of my socks and off of my pants. Why didn't I think of that? Well, there are specific and very powerful tools that can be used to better see the ideas, the information that are around us, the pieces of information that are around us. And we talk about that in these series, in the earlier sessions in the series. And so I really just encourage you to get all this information that will really help you, bless you, benefit you, and also as it benefits you, will benefit our world as you begin to realize the dreams in your heart. And so now we're in session 10. And we're talking about the 5th of our 5 words that we've used as the foundation for effectively writing any vision. Remember, we told you that write is a synonym of the word scribble, which comes from the root word scribere, the Latin scribere. And from that root, we get 5 English words that are important, critical, if you will, to effectively writing any vision. And those words are describe, prescribe, inscribe, subscribe, and now the 5th one that we'll talk about in this session, ascribe. Now, ascribe is not a word that we use very often in the English language. You'll find it once, twice in your Bible. It's kind of an old English word, but it is a critical element to the success of any vision or dream. When we talk about writing a vision, we have really stressed the importance of clearly describing what it is you want to accomplish, coming up with a prescribed plan of action, actually inscribing, writing it down on paper or somewhere so that there is a written record of what you plan to do. And that because it is only through writing that you actually fully develop, fully explain, fully describe what is in your heart. Very different than communicating verbally. Very different than just kind of walking around with the dream burning in your own heart. Writing requires some effort that most people never made. Not only that, but once it is effectively written, it becomes a guide and a guardian for you personally, but also it becomes kind of a compact way of involving others in your enterprise. everything from job descriptions to business plans, what have you. If in fact you've got a good idea, you're going to need some help, and you really don't have the kind of time or energy to kind of clue everybody in one by one as they come into your enterprise. You're going to need a written record so you can just hand qualified individuals this information and say, this is what we're doing and this is where you get in and this is how we want it done. And so we really stressed the writing of the vision. And then the last time together, we talked about submitting to what is written. But as it pertains to writing the vision, one thing that we did not stress at that time, because I wanted to put it here, is that the best and most important place to write any vision is not on a piece of paper. You need to do that. You need manuals and books and handbooks and things like that. Websites, performers, you need those kinds of things. But the most powerful place to write any vision is in other people's hearts. And that's where a scribe comes in. A scribe. Now look, this thing is alive and burning in you. That's what drives you. But until you can get it alive and burning in other people's hearts, it won't drive them in the same way. We talked about getting other people to submit to what is written, getting them motivated. Well, a scribe is really where that takes place. I bought my first computer almost 30 years ago. And the way it happened was I just started to write books. First one I wrote on an electric typewriter, one of those IBM deals. And, I thank God that when I was in high school, even though the boys bugged me about it, I took typing. I think I was one of maybe one or two guys in that typing class surrounded by all these girls. The boys didn't know that was a good place to pick up girls, which is why I took the class, to tell the truth. But I learned to type, turned out to be one of the better typists in the class, and have continued to do so. Didn't know that computers were coming and that was going to become a very valuable tool for what I would ultimately do with my life. God knew, but I didn't. And anyway, I'd written that first book and I was working on my second one, and a kid in my church got a Macintosh computer for Christmas. And he knew what I was working on. He said, Pastor, why don't you come by and take a look at this new gizmo my mom bought me for Christmas. And I think it would really help you, because it was cut and paste and white out, and it was old school, not quite royal typewriter, those hammer deals, but still, man, buzzing where all you want to. When you made a mistake, there were, it was not cut and paste like word processing. And he had gotten this Mac, and this was before the days of InDesign. This was PageMaker years ago, and it was relatively new from Adobe. And man, it didn't take but a few keystrokes on that thing, and one or two corrections, that cut and paste motion. Once I figured out how to do that, or he showed me, I don't remember, but once that was a part of my life, I was hooked. I don't think it was another 2 weeks before I had one, and I have owned a Macintosh computer ever since without fail. Now, back then you kind of had to stay in the PC world in order to remain able to communicate with other business processes. There weren't that many Mac users in America at the time, and not only that, there wasn't that much software for Macintosh computers, especially as pertains to business applications. But when it came to word processing and certain artistic programs, man, Mac was that. It was what was happening, and it was the way they were selling it to artistic enterprises, writers, artists, people like that. And so I fell in love with this thing. But not only did I like it for myself, I became a great advocate for the use of Macintosh computers. I was one of their best salesmen. I was never on the payroll. It never occurred to me to buy Apple stock. That wasn't part of my life at the time, man. I wish I had. That stuff is what, $500-600 a share now. But whenever I would talk to somebody about computers, or whenever anything electronic would come up, I was always in there slugging for Macintosh computers. Well, why would I do that? Why would I do that? There was nothing in that for me. Me telling you to buy a Mac, even now, I don't get anything out of that. They don't send me a residual check. I kind of wish they would put me on the payroll as a corporate sponsor or something like that. But that's not any advantage that I have. It's just that they figured out a way to get what was important to them about that computer into me. Now, most businesses, will do something along those lines. I mean, Mac wasn't the only company that accomplished that with me or other people. I mean, years before I bought that first Macintosh computer, we were wearing Converse All-Stars, and of course the symbol was there on the shoe and on the heel. Kids, remember Kids sneakers, and PF flyers, and then that was kind of our first launch into designer clothing, and then it moved from our feet to our jeans, and the next thing you know, we're not wearing just plain old blue jeans anymore. You got to have Levi's, and not only Levi's, but a certain kind of Levi's, red tags, orange tags. There were specific body types, and then it went from Levi's to these designer jeans, and you had people's names on your hip pocket, Calvin Klein and Yvonne van Furstenberg. I don't remember, but you had all of these names on your hip pocket, and it moved from your behind to your shirt. And the next thing you know, you're wearing an Izod shirt or a polo shirt, and you're gonna put a jacket on over that, and now you got on a members only jacket. I mean, we were walking billboards long before golfers and people like that. We were walking billboards. We were walking around advertising for other people, and we weren't getting paid. I mean, you watch the Golf Channel and Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and all them guys, some of those guys, it's almost comical. They look like race cars, man. They just got a patch for this and a patch for that and something on the hat and something on the back. There's a website on the back of the hat. I mean, they just walking billboards, but they getting paid. These companies are paying them to wear those logos. We weren't getting paid. We were paying to advertise for these companies, and we put on our Converse All-Stars and our Calvin Klein jeans and our Izod shirt and our members only jacket and our Kango cap, and we get in our Cadillac, whatever kind of car we were driving, and on the back of that there was an emblem. Of course the car itself was carrying its emblem and its name, but then the dealer, would put it on the license plate thing or a sticker. So I mean, we were advertising for everybody. We were excited about these things, but then we were advertising. What we were doing, we're creating desire in our neighbors. That's a scribe. That's talking up and praising the virtues of a product or a thing or a person so that people get excited about it. It's not enough to describe what it is you want to accomplish. That'll get the ball rolling. Then you have to come up with a prescribed plan of action so that what you imagine now has the ability to move from concept to product or reality, right? Then you have to write that down, because just the verbal communication, the excitement internally is not enough. You need that guardian and that guide to get you to where you're going to go, something to measure, monitor, hold you accountable for what it is you're out to accomplish, something to invite others in to help you, something to perpetuate it even after you're dead, right? You have to be willing to subscribe to it, to do the work, to go through the pain, to commit the resources in order to make this thing happen. But, after a while, you're going to grow weary and other people are going to get tired. And there's got to be a cheerleader there, an excitement there that is built by putting this thing not just in front of people's eyes, but writing it in their hearts. And that's what a scribe will do. Now, I mean, it starts with something as simple as an ad. You deserve a break today, so get up and get away to McDonald's, right? See the USA in a Chevrolet, right? There were all these ads, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I mean, we memorized these little ditties, right? And that was the company's way of getting us excited about their products or to remember their products. So we went to the grocery store or wherever. So what was that? What was that stuff they were talking about that helped with headaches? Or, yeah, the plop, plop, fizz, fizz stuff. Yeah, let's get some of that. There were other products on the shelf, but they their commercials weren't as good. We were riding down the road, we looking for the golden arches, right? Because they had embedded that in our hearts, that little slogan, that little idea, that little ditty, that little commercial. But the better companies went even beyond that. They didn't just get us excited about it, but they instructed us on why we liked their products and gave us talking points so that we could sell our friends. So now, not only am I excited about buying a Cadillac from Joe Brown Cadillac dealership, but now that I got my Cadillac, every time I ride by, they say, "Hey man, that's a nice car you drive. What is that?" "Oh, that's a Cadillac." Oh, then when I drive, "Oh yeah, he got that from Joe Brown Cadillac. I need to go get me one of those." And he may not be able to afford one right now, but now his desire, and he said, "Man, when I get me some money, I'm get me one of those Cadillacs." I think Macy Gray did a commercial, an advertisement for Mercury, Lincoln Mercury, and she said, if I had some money, I tell you what I do. I go do something, and buy me a Mercury or two. I'm crazy about a Mercury. These are the kinds of desires that rise up in people when a product has been effectively ascribed to. Zig Ziglar, one of the world's greatest trainers, teachers, motivators, did a series on goals that is incredible. And I encourage you, I ascribe to it. But in it, he talked about give up goals and go up goals. Now, he said a give up goal is a goal that has to do with quitting something. Want to quit smoking, want to quit overeating, want to quit lying, want to quit stealing, want to quit doing something, want to lose some weight. And he said when you have a give up goal, what you do is you tell everybody, right? Including and especially your enemies. So if you want to give up smoking, it might be a little tough for you to do that. But if everybody knows that you've decided to give up smoking and you kind of fall off the wagon and you tip outside to have a cigarette, somebody from across the street say, hey, didn't you say you giving up smoking? And now all of a sudden they are partakers in your dream, in your vision. They're going to help you do what it is you said you wanted to do. He said, but when it comes to go up goals, that's when you want to achieve something. Maybe you want to be top salesman at your company. You want to own the company one day. He said, you can't tell everybody that, right? Because there are other people that want to be top salesmen. There are other people that want to own the company one day, and they're not going to be that helpful when you make that declaration. Matter of fact, knowing that you now want to do it, they may wind up hurting you. So you only want to tell the people that love you, care about you, will encourage you, right? Well, I want to add to Zig's list. There's give up goals, there's go up goals, but there's also blow up goals. There are enterprises that you want to, Malcolm Gladwell in his book, The Tipping Point, called it TIP. You want it to take on a life of its own, to get beyond your ability to drive it. I mean, if I'm out here hawking my product, hey man, you want to buy one of these? Want to try one of these? Here, eat a sample. Check this out. Have you ever had any one of these? If you read this, have you been here? Have you heard that? I'm out there hawking my product, but I'm limited to my own ability to be in one place on one street corner, at one fair or something like that at a time, right? Or maybe I've written it out, so I've employed some other people and I'm kind of broadening my enterprise. But if I really, really want my product to take off, what I've got to be able to do is get it beyond my ability to drive it. And I want something in the product itself to inspire people to say, have you read this? Right? You want it to go what we call now viral, right? You want the user of the product to begin to share it with other people. And that's a function of writing your vision on their heart, so that now you not only sell them on your idea or sell them your product or sell them your goods and services, but you instruct them. on why what you are selling is so good in a way that makes so much sense to them that that information literally becomes their own, and you actually give them easily absorbed, easily learned talking points, so that when they go to talk to their friends, that information is ready at hand. They say, what's that you're reading? Oh man, this is Michael Evans's new book called Write the Vision. Is it good? Man, let me tell you, this is one of the best things I ever read in my life. And let me tell you why. He talks about 5 words in here that will help you realize any dream. If you can describe it, come up with a prescribed plan of action, inscribe it, actually write it down, subscribe to it, do what you've written, and then talk it up. Get other people excited about it. Man, whatever you want to do will take off. Really? Where can I get one of those? Well, his website is here. You can get it on Amazon. And you see, now all of a sudden, your customers are selling your idea, because instead of just describing it to them, you are now employing them to ascribe it for you. Ascribe. One of the most powerful aspects of realizing a written vision. You get that down, and I'm telling you, the things that you want to do will take off. So we've covered 5 ideas that will help you to realize any vision, any dream, right? First of all, you got to be able to describe what it is you want to do, right? Secondly, you need a prescribed plan of action. Thirdly, it needs to be inscribed, physically written down somewhere. Paper, diagrams, performance, business plans, websites. There needs to be a written record, job description, schematics, recipes, whatever applies to your particular type of vision or dream. If you don't do that, you will never fully extract all that is needful to clarify what it is you want to do. Once it's written, you got to subscribe to what is written. But now that all of that's taken care of, you got to master the fine art of ascribing to what it is you want to accomplish. And let me tell you something, you can't be shy. Self-promotion is an important thing. It doesn't come natural to most people, so you just kind of got to bite the bullet and get on out there. If you don't believe your product is good, why should I? You know, there's the whole saying, don't blow your own horn. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a horn player. I grew up playing clarinet and saxophone. And one thing about horn players is your own horn is the only one they want you to blow. Don't come over here messing with my horn. Where your horn? Don't want your mouth all over my mouthpiece, messing up my keys and my pads. Your own horn is the only horn you ought to blow. And so you need to get excited about what it is you're doing, because your excitement, especially if it's insightful, your excitement, if it's insightful, if it instructs, so that not only do I get excited about what you're doing, but I know why I'm excited, because you told me. And you've told me in a way that's memorable, something that I can tap into clearly and concisely, so that when I'm telling other people about what I'm excited about, they can get excited too. That happens, off your product takes, and you're on your way to seeing a full manifestation of your dream. Well, I hope you're getting a lot out of this. Get the book, get the workbook. If you just got in on these 5 free promotional sessions, order the full series. It'll bless you. It will transform your life. We got 2 more sessions. Now, for those of you that are in on the 5 free promotionals, you won't see those unless you buy the whole thing. But the next time we're together, we're going to continue on with our series entitled Write the Vision.